Welcome to the Doc G Show, a radio show cluster. Without further ado, critics have said he has the face for radio and a voice for silent films. Your host, Ben Doc G Gordon.
And we are on the air. Welcome to the Doc G Show. I'm your host, Doc G. With me, as always, the one, the only, Mikey Maximus, the notorious average size Papa, Charette.
Yes, average size guy, everybody, 5'11". What's up, Doc G?
You know, I couldn't decide, Mike. When I came up with that, I was like, is he average size? What do I want to say? Skinny? Is he normal size? What do I want to say? You know?
Where am I on that? Is 5'11"? Is that?
It's slightly over average, I think. Just slightly.
Okay, I'll take that.
Because I think now average is like 5'9" to 5'10". So you got like an inch on average. You know?
Yeah, but I'd be massive in the 1800s.
Oh, you'd
right?
be gigantic.
Like,
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, or like
player.
Roman times. You go back to the Roman times. Whew. God, you'd be sticking out. They'd be like, look at that gladiator. Good Lord.
Yeah.
My Jesus. But, Mike, I've got very exciting news.
What's going on?
I know you are only interested in the most important aspects of my life.
Of course.
And one of the more recent developments of my life, my slippers.
Yes, you got them.
I got them. Now, to refresh everyone's knowledge of these slippers, these are some fan slippers.
Yeah,
these are UGG scuff slippers. That's right. Now, Mike, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Look at those things. Look at those things, Mike. Look at that. Oh, my gosh, that fuzzy wool. Let me tell you, that wool.
I'm surprised you're not wearing a robe right now, Doc.
I could. I could do it. Yes. Trust me, Mike, when you're on their site, they got some good-looking robes.
Oh,
they
really?
got some good-looking robes.
I didn't know how good robes.
I mean, I might, when it turns back to the horrible months that I don't like, I may have to get a robe,
Robe season.
I mean, yeah, I feel like June is not robe season, Nope. I don't think I'd be preparing for it. But let me tell you something, Mike. These the wool, it's a little bit warm for June as well, but my God, is it soft. It's lovely. And when you don't have socks on, ooh, it's just like kissing your feet, man. Oh, It's nice. It is not.
They look comfy.
And the great part about them, listeners, I know this makes for great content. The great thing about them is that it hugs your foot right here. Like, you notice how it gets more narrow right here? So it's just a little tight putting your foot in, but then it sticks in. You don't have to worry about like a regular slide, just slides right off.
Yeah.
There's no contour, Mike. This has got the contour.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's real nice.
That's good. And you got to break them in, so they're just going to get even better.
Even better. But, Mike, very happy about that, so we can go ahead and check that off the list.
That's a fact.
Cool.
On to other important things. I stumbled across something on social media. Do you know Ava Gardner?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. She's dead now. She's been dead for like 30 years. But she was a super famous actress through like the 50s and the 70s. She also did some modeling. She was married to Frank Sinatra for 6 years in the 50s. The American Film Institute ranked her as the 25th greatest female screen legend of all time. So, anywho, I came across a post about Ava Gardner, Mike. And it interested me a lot, actually. I really liked it. So I went down a little bit of an Ava Gardner rabbit hole. Interesting story how she got famous, Mike. Not interested in becoming a movie star. So Ava went to New York, where her brother-in-law owned a photography studio. And he took a picture of her for her family. Like, he was just like, hey, you want to give this to your mom for, like, Mother's Day or her birthday or whatever? And he was like, yeah, cool. He took the picture of her, and then afterwards he was like, this is really good. I'm a good photographer. Awesome. And he was like, I'm going to put it up in my storefront. So he put it up in front of the storefront. And a dude walked by the studio, saw the picture of Ava, and thought she was really hot. So he went into the studio acting like he was a talent scout for MGM, the film studio. And he tried to get her number that way. And was like, hey, I'm looking for talent, and she looks like a type of dame we need in films. And Ava's brother-in-law wasn't buying it. And he was like, yeah, no, I'm not giving you her number. And he was like, ah. And so as the dude was walking out, he was trying to really sell that he was this person. So he's like, well, I mean, if you don't send it to me, just send it to MGM. And, tell them I sent you. They'll let her in. And so Ava's brother-in-law did that. He was like, well, I guess it can't hurt if I just send her info to them and their picture. And when they got her picture and her information, they were like, we got to hire this lady. And they did. And she got a job.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty awesome. Thanks to a perv,
amazing.
She got the job, But she was contacted by MGM. They had her audition. They had her do a bunch of stuff. And the thing they were actually most concerned about was her thick Southern accent. She is from North Carolina. And so she actually, for a couple of years, had to take some pretty, in-depth language and speech classes to get it. Yeah, to lose the accent. And she did.
You can do that.
Yeah. You definitely. Lots of people do. I mean, Reese Witherspoon, when she wants to, she can turn that thing right off. Stephen Colbert from Charleston, South Carolina, used to have an accent, turned that thing right off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anywho, Mike, they also had her fill out a survey. And on the survey, they ask her about what would make her happy with work. Like one of the questions was, what would make you happy with your work? And she said, this is her quote. Quote, the truth is that the only time I'm happy is when I'm doing absolutely nothing. I don't understand people who like to work and talk about it like it's some kind of duty. Doing nothing feels like floating on warm water to me. Delightful. Perfect.
She gets it.
Right? Mad respect to Ava, Mike. I mean, gosh. You hear all the time, Mike. You hear all the time people being like, you got to chase your passion. You got to do what you love. If you're doing what you love, you won't work a day in your life. What if what you love is being a lazy sack of crap? What do you do then? And I love how Ava wasn't even trying to pander to him at all, on a work form. Like normally it's a work form. You're going to be like, well, what do I love? Anything. I'll work 24 hours a day. I'm a nonstop worker, trying to get a job. And she was like, what do I love? Doing nothing. When you want me to work, guess what? I'm not gonna.
Nope.
It's like I sort of wondered, I want to know the other questions on the survey. Did they have the typical question of what would you say is one of your strongest qualities and what's your weakest? Ava just listed 500 weak qualities. Well, here's a bunch of things that I'm not good at. What am I good at? Sleeping. Procrastinating. Pretty solid at those.
Answering work questions.
Yeah.
Surveys.
Also, going back to her answer, doing nothing feels like floating on warm water to me.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And I also feel like that's how people describe the first time they did heroin. But it really sounds like Ava loved doing nothing, And I was thinking about it, Mike. We have several slogans on the Doc G Show. Several slogans. None of them are popular.
Nope.
But we have several. The Doc G Show, home of organized rambling. We have the Doc G Show, lower your expectations and you won't be disappointed. We have several slogans. I want to add another one, Mike, in honor of Ava. You ready for it?
Yes.
The Doc G Show, slightly worse than doing nothing. Right? Right?
That's great.
Mike, are you ready to fire up this show that some people may enjoy as much as doing nothing?
Let's fire up this floating on warm water show.
Just let it surround you, listeners. Let the water surround you.
All 3 engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and lift off.
Mike, we have a fantastic guest this week. We have the one and only Brian Wheat from Tesla. My goodness, these guys, they have sold millions of albums. They've toured around the world for more than 40 years. Just fantastic. They got a new single out called All About Love. It's been out for several months. Mike, I couldn't bring myself to ask him in the interview. I wanted to ask him how much Elon Musk him off. You know? Like, not a political thing, just the fact that because, you know, they had Tesla first. They were the band in the 80s, Tesla. And now they have to put a disclaimer at the top of their website that says, not the car. You know, like...
Wait, do they have Tesla.com?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they probably got bought out.
I think it's
it.
like probably Tesla Band. Yes, Tesla the Band is their website.
There you go.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna avoid that topic. You know, I'm just gonna not gonna ask.
Yeah.
You know.
Political.
Yeah.
Well, you could. You know, it's always interesting. Hey, what are your thoughts on it? We can cut all this. We can cut all this, but where are you at on this whole? You know,
then an hour later, yep. Yeah, that was 60 minutes we need to cut. Okay. But Mike, we need to start where we start.
Birthday suit.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Okay, I'm pretty confident on this one, Mike. I say 90%.
Wow.
Okay.
Born on May 14th, 1989 in Amherst, New York. He played professional football for 11 seasons in the NFL as a tight end for the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a 5-time Pro Bowler, and holds the NFL record for most touchdowns in a season by a tight end. And I am pretty sure you watched him kick a field goal or something at the 2024 Super Bowl. Name that birthday suit wearer.
Rob Gronkowski.
There you go, Gronk. Yeah. Gronk it is, man. Oh, I mean, crazy, Mike. Only turning 36. Such a young buck, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. You get to retire when you're 34 years old, and then you're just partying the rest of your life. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. And I'm going to tell you this, Mike. His girlfriend, not ugly.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a pretty attractive lady. It turns out, so you're not going to believe this, she's a model.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They've been going out for, well, no. Well, yeah, no, she is a model. I take that back. The model, also a cheerleader for the Patriots. But they've been going out for like 12 years.
Oh, wow. 12
Yeah,
years.
I think they might be doing
long
like
time.
the old Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell deal, you know? Like, we're just not going to get married sort of deal, you know?
Oh, all right.
I don't know, but that would be my guess. If you've been going out with somebody for 12 years, like, what's the point now? Like, come on.
I didn't know Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell never
not married.
got married.
Not married. Been
Oh,
together
wow.
for like 40 years, man. Never married.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it. And I like his mustache. Anywho, Rob does have they have him and his brothers have a fitness company. That's where I got your adjustable dumbbells, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Gronk Fitness there. He seems like a fun guy.
He seems like a nice guy. I mean, I got to, he was interacting with all the fans, or all the, when we did the commercial thing.
Yeah.
He was nice.
He seems also, he has an attribute that I really wish I had. And aside from the insane athleticism and the Greek god.
He's really tall
Yeah.
in person, by the way. He's a really tall guy.
Well, he
That's
that's the thing. It makes it seem taller. It's a little bit of an optical illusion because he's so big. Like when you're big and you've got those wide shoulders and then you're tall too, it just seems like this, mountain. You're like, what the hell? Why are your shoulders so high up? Like, yeah.
Because he was wearing cleats too, so I don't know.
He's a good. I mean, and did he put the helmet on too? Right? Did he put the helmet?
Yeah, I think he had the helmet on. Yeah.
Yeah, that gives him. I mean, those two things give him a good extra 3 inches. So he's looking at a good solid.
He just seemed like a massive guy,
6'10" or something around there. But he is like 6'6", 6'7", somewhere in that ballpark. But anyways, the thing that I do really wish I had that he has, he really doesn't seem to overthink things.
Nope.
And I mean that in a good way. Like, he doesn't torture himself being like, well, if I did this, this might happen. If I do this, he really seems like a dude that's just like, that seems cool, let's do it.
Sweet.
And that's it. There's no thinking possibilities. There's no well, then this might turn out bad. This might Nah. He's just going to do it, whatever he wants to do, And I really wish I could do that. I can't do that. It's gonna bounce around up here 4,556 times before I come up with a solution. And that's just going to lunch. That would be lunch for me, it's just But he
tough decisions.
I mean,
I wonder if that comes from being a football player. You gotta.
I know there's definitely football players that overthink things for sure. But that it was like when he went to Tampa Bay. That was basically like Tom Brady called him up and was like, hey, I'm down here in Tampa. You should come. And he was like, no, we're getting the band back together. Let's go. And just went down. That was it. You're just like, man, that's awesome. But anyways, happy birthday to Gronk. Gronk, if you ever want to come on our show, I know he's got a show. I think they're still doing it. Him and Julian Edelman. I'm pretty sure they're still doing it. It's like dudes being dudes or something like that. Bros being bros. Something. There's a name like that. Anywho, happy birthday to Gronk. Turning the big 3-6, Mike. Mike, you ready to rip some headlines?
Let's rip some headlines, Doc G.
It's now time for Rip from the Headlines.
Mike, I got a headline here to start things off from The Guardian. Quote, man died of blunt force injuries at U.S. Zoo after suspected kangaroo fight.
Wait, what?
Come on, Australia. It's not enough for you to have animals that kill people when they're in Australia. Now you got to start exporting them to our country and killing people? Come on. It's ridiculous, Mike.
Oof.
Ridiculous.
That's gotta be a rough way to go, man.
And let me read again real quick, Mike. Man died of blunt force injuries at U.S. Zoo after suspected kangaroo fight.
Word.
How is this suspected? What else could it have been? Like, did they talk to the kangaroo afterwards? And he was like, no, we weren't fighting. No, we were just talking. Yeah, it was just a talk. I don't know what happened to him. Like, So this happened, Mike, at the old 5-Star Farm. South Carolina 5-Star Farm, which is near Myrtle Beach. And I got to be honest, Mike, no offense to 5-Star Farms, but anytime you got 5-star in your name, that's an indication you don't actually have 5-star quality. That's pretty much a dead giveaway.
Yeah, it's probably easy gates to jump.
Well, now
to get into those pens.
Well, so now this is what happened. The person that died, Mike, was the owner's brother.
Oh.
Yeah, and the owner said his brother liked to enter the enclosure containing kangaroos and wallabies and, quote, roughhouse with a kangaroo named Jack.
Huh?
Yeah. And in the article, Mike, it says the death happened on Friday close to midnight.
Word.
Mike, I've probably said it 1,000 times on the show, but if you go into a kangaroo enclosure looking to roughhouse on a Friday night, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, you are.
That's a recipe for disaster, man. You know, but I was thinking about it, Mike. You know what Five Star Farms needs?
What do they need, Doc G?
Guard llama.
Yeah.
You know, you put a llama in that enclosure, that roughhousing that'll stop real quick.
No way. Yeah, he'll break that right up.
He'll break it up. Have those goofy little banana ears looking each way. He's not going to let that happen.
Some sunglasses, little name tag.
We will definitely.
Little badge.
I was about to say, our guard llama will definitely have security guard glasses. That is for sure. We're going to outfit him with the coolest glasses and a leather jacket. Nice.
Oh my gosh, man. Going by a kangaroo, though. I mean, he's not going to bite you, you know. It's just going to be straight kicks to death.
I mean, but like, what was happening, Mike? It was midnight. What was going on? Like, and hey, I'm going to go outside. Check on the old kangaroos. You know they got it coming to them. Like, what? It's just weird. Anyways.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Mike, I've got a headline from the Wall Street Journal. Quote, 5 subtle signs you're in a wealthy person's home. Mike, I thought this was gonna be good, you know? Like, I was very excited about this article, and then I looked it up, which I had to get around their little paywall first. And we're like, oh, pay $7 a month. And I'm like, no, do it for free, you turds. And Lord. Anyways, I got around it, and then it just turns out it's just like expensive things that a lot of people post on like TikTok that are in their houses. And like some of them were like celebrities. So the first thing was Egyptian cotton sheets, which I was like, first of all, who's going around checking somebody's sheets when they get into their house? Like, oh yeah, I see the tag. That's ridiculous. Second one, flowers in a nice vase, which I was like, girl, come on. What the hell? The third one, nice smelling candles, which I was like, I don't know. I've got some friends that definitely aren't wealthy that have some pretty nice candles.
So true.
Like, yeah, I don't know about that one. Fourth one, pink Himalayan salt. Which I was like, I don't know. Again, all right, sure. And then the last one I would say this was like the true like Art Deco lamps and chandeliers. So that one.
Okay, chandeliers.
Yeah, but
lamps and chandeliers. I thought you were gonna say like gold bars. Just gold bars.
What's this? It's just some wealth.
It's just a chair made out of gold bars.
But I mean, Mike,
this is a nice place.
This is a goofy list, you know. So I made my own list of 5 not so subtle signs you're in a wealthy person's home. Number 5. They have multiple rooms that they clearly haven't used in years.
Yeah.
You can always tell when you're in a rich person's house and you go by a room and you're like, that's been unused for 5 years. You can tell those vacuum marks were made on that carpet 35 years ago and they're still there. Like, very obvious.
A whole wing of the house. Yeah. You guys just aren't.
No. Number 4, Mike. Multiple rooms have French names, like foyer or salon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a salon.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a sitting room, Mike. It's a living room. Yeah. Fancy living room. Okay. 3, they have actual design themes in their house. You know, if you hear somebody being like, what we're going for, this is sort of like a modern chic Art Deco blend. Yeah.
Huh?
Nobody that is not wealthy has a theme. There's no theme
No.
to my apartment, Mike. There's chaos in my apartment. That's what's going on.
This is my stuff.
Yeah, this is my stuff. It's in all rooms, chaotically put through. Number 2, Mike. You get lost going to the bathroom.
That's a fact.
Definitely an indication there is a high amount of square footage when you're like, wait, hold on. It was 5. It was 4. It was 4, and then the turn. Just follow the voices. Where do I hear voices? And to get back, I've done it before, Mike. Sounds ridiculous. I have done it.
I've had that actually in South Carolina. I stayed at somebody's house and I got lost in that house. It was massive.
Yeah.
Massive house.
Sign that you're in a wealthy person's home.
Yeah.
Number
That was
1,
a nice
Mike.
place.
You instantly start taking mental notes so you can tell all your normal poor friends what a rich house looks like. Oh my God, what is that? I got to tell somebody about that. Oh my.
An elephant head. Wow.
What? That seems illegal. Oh my gosh, there's 2 refrigerators. What do they put in the second one? Oh my Lord. Yeah. So there you go, Mike. There's my list. I think my list is better than the Wall Street Journal's. I'm biased, but
Oh, it is.
You know.
For sure.
Mike, we're going to move on to people.
People.
Here's the headline, quote, man with multiple sclerosis spent over $12,000 to be Gene Simmons' roadie with 13-year-old son. I'm going to die happy. Mike, leave it to Gene Simmons, a man worth $400 million, to charge a guy with a debilitating, life-threatening disease $12,000 to be his assistant. Like, what? Make a wish? No. Make a down payment. Like, and by the way, you're making a down payment to do chores for me. Now, pick up that guitar. Let's go. Like, what this is ridiculous, Mike. Ridiculous. Now, apparently this was Dwayne Rosado. That was who paid for this experience, Mike. And props to Dwayne, because, like, he was diagnosed with MS a year and a half ago, and he said this about the experience. He said, quote, you only live once, and I want to experience life. I'm not going to die with a lot of money. I'm going to die happy. You know? And that's pretty awesome. You know, and this dude loves Gene Simmons so much. He said, quote, it felt awkward because I have a whole crowd in front of me, and all I wanted to do is hug him. I didn't care about anything else. That's what he said when he was introduced to the crowd at the Gene Simmons show, Mike. And, like, I'm just like, a guy is this big of a fan of you, and he's got a horrible disease, and you're still like, cool. So you got the $12,000, right? Okay, awesome. Go ahead and pay me that. Like, ridiculous, Mike.
Yeah, it's weird.
Get out of here, Gene.
Give the guy a
break.
Refund him at the end of it.
And you've got $400 million. It's like we said with Justin Bieber last week. What are you going to do with that? You're not going to spend it all. You can't spend it all. Why do you need $12,000 more dollars? Let him do it for free, you turd burger. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, crazy people barrier to entry. Multiple sclerosis or no multiple sclerosis. People can be weird.
Of course. But I mean, that's the thing.
Give me $12,000 and then if you're cool, I'll give it back. But if you're weird, I'm keeping it.
Okay, I could see that, Mike. A down payment for weirdness. Yes,
yeah,
I could see that.
Don't be weird.
Putting it on hold. I do like that. That would be acceptable. Yeah. I'd be completely fine if he did that.
What do you think? He probably won't.
No, well, he already did.
He's keeping.
He already didn't. He definitely kept.
Oh,
that
he
money.
didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, they already
did
it. They definitely already did it. They already wasted the $12,000. So.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. Anywho, Mike, I got a headline from thetravel.com. Thetravel.com. The Fiji of Mississippi features stunning white sand beaches and is only accessible by boat.
Word.
Okay.
First off, Mike, what's the travel.com? Like, I didn't even notice that until I wrote down the headline. I was like, where's this from again? Travel.com. TheTravel.com.
Huh?
And I was like, I feel like they were getting ready to make a website, and they're like, hey, Travel.com's already taken. What do you want to do? Yeah, just throw a "the" in front of it. Nobody will care. The Travel? Yeah, the Travel.com. That's good. Let's do that. Like, it doesn't make any sense, Mike. TheTravel.com?
It's a good URL, though, Docchi. I mean, hey.
They did it.
TheTravel.com.
They did it. They did it.
As somebody who's tried buying and selling, not so much selling URLs, but I've tried to think of good URLs. That's a good URL.
Mike, this is
The Travel.
This is a true fact. We have decreased the value of the Doc G Show 5,000% since we've owned it. So it is no one wants our the Doc G Show. But Mike, second of all, let's go back to the headline here. The Fiji of Mississippi. The Fiji of Mississippi features stunning white sand beaches and is only accessible by boat. Nobody calls this island the Fiji of Mississippi, Mike. Like, come on. Like, do you also call Dayton the Tuscany of Ohio? Like, it's just, no. And, Mike, I hate to break it to the folks of thetravel.com. I looked this up. This is Ship Island, in case you didn't know. That's what they're talking about is Ship Island. Now, I'm guessing you've never seen Ship Island, Mike.
No.
But Fiji has beautiful crystal blue waters and beautiful palm trees everywhere, just picturesque. There's mountain peaks popping up out of the ocean. It's beautiful. Ship Island has some murky Mississippi water, no palm trees, and a deserted fort from the Civil War. Literally, a ghost fort is on this island, Mike, and it's just stuck out there in the middle of the ocean. It looks weird. It is not Fiji. No, they really had this one wrong, Mike.
Not a fan of fresh water.
No, it's not fresh water. But it's still just Gulf water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Mike, we need to take a break. We are going to be right back here on the Doc G Show. And we are back here on the Doc G Show. Spinnaker Radio, WSKRLP 95.5 FM in Jacksonville, Florida. Mike, what do the listeners, what do they need to do?
Well, Doc G, if the listeners feel like the show is a positive way to waste their time, they should please subscribe to the show wherever they consume their podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Sirius, Pandora Plus. It's a cost-effective way to support the show. And listeners, if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a 5-star review. We would love that.
Amen. Listeners, I can't guarantee that it'll be better than doing nothing.
Nope.
Let's be honest. We all know doing nothing, it's like floating on warm water.
Yeah, it is.
Just like these Ugg sandals are like floating on warm water. I'm trying to get a new free pair, Mike. This is me doing a plug for Uggs to get another free pair. Oh, gosh. Thank you to all the folks that do listen. We, of course, appreciate it, you know. I like I've said multiple times, Mike, I am always just speechless whenever somebody from, say, you know, Falkenstein, Germany, or from Dublin, Ireland, just says, this is the show that I listen to every week. And I say, yeah, thank you, you know, because that's awesome. Again, as many things that are out there, Mike, as many things, there is so much content. For them to choose this show is an effing miracle. And I appreciate that miracle. Thank you, listeners.
I do too. Thank you, listeners.
Mike,
Thank you.
to thank the 5 stars, here we go.
Shout out.
Shout out to San Diego, California, Dublin, Ireland. No, went too fast. Too fast to start, Mike. Too fast. Okay, let me try that again. I'm going to start slow. We're going to rev it up. Shout out to San Diego, California, Dublin, Ireland, Boardman, Oregon, Genoa, Italy, Richards, Texas, Barcelona, Spain, Winfield, West Virginia, Biloxi, Mississippi, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Peoria, Illinois, Katy, Texas, Toms River, New Jersey, Olive Branch, Mississippi, Asheville, North Carolina, Los Angeles, California, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Athens, Georgia, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Chicago, Illinois, Boynton, Virginia, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Columbus, Ohio, Falkenstein, Germany, Jacksonville, Florida, Columbia, South Carolina, Radford, Virginia, Gainesville, Florida, Frankfurt, Germany, Fort Worth, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Anoka, Minnesota, Ashburn, Virginia, and Piracai, Brazil. There we go.
Nice.
Shoutouts.
Had a false start, Mike, but we got back on the line. We got through it. Nicely done. Okay, I guess that nicely done was for me. I don't know who that was for. Mike, 4-star listens. Here we go. First off, Redford, Michigan, Mike. Redford, Michigan. I think that'd be like, you would probably consider that Detroit.
Okay.
Like when you look at a map, it's basically Detroit. It's definitely in the sprawl.
Gotcha.
It's like if I were from Redford, I don't know about the folks from Redford. Let me know, but I would say I'm from Detroit.
That's a fact.
Definitely from people outside of Michigan. That's for sure. I'm not, because let's be honest. If you say Redford, they'll be like, "Where's that?" And then you'll say basically Detroit, and people go, "Okay." So I'm guessing they say they're from Detroit, Mike. Shout out Detroit. Fremont, California. Shout out to Fremont. They're semi, they're regular semi-regulars, so
Cool.
Shout out to Fremont. Forest City, Georgia. There are a lot of forest cities, Mike. My Lord. Like every state has a forest city. And I mean, as you probably are already aware, none of them are actually cities. There's like 20 people in all of these forest cities, but still.
And none of them are in forests.
Yeah, they're all deserts. They're all deserts. Las Vegas, Nevada. Speaking of deserts, there we go. Shout out Las Vegas. Indianapolis, Indiana. Madrid, Spain. Odessa, Ukraine. Shout out Ukraine. There we go. Singapore. Shout out to Singapore. Also regular, semi-regulars. Middletown, Florida. London, England. And Portland, you're hanging on. Portland, Oregon. One more week. You're in that regular list, Portland. You're in that regular list. Thanks to all the listeners. We appreciate it greatly. Greatly. Mike, it is time. We need to take a break. We are going to be right back with none other than the fantastic Brian Wheat of Tesla right here on the Doc G Show. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are very excited to be welcoming a rock legend to the show. He is a founding member of the incredible band Tesla, who have sold millions of albums. They have toured around the world countless times and are once again on the road for their Keeping It Real tour. They will be in Florida Theater March 5th. Mr. Brian Wheat. Brian, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. So Tesla released All About Love a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And
yes, sir.
I think Tesla fans already know this, but I just got to say, Jeff's vocals, man, they're still phenomenal. It's crazy. He must put a ton of work into keeping those pipes pristine, I'm guessing.
Well, oddly enough, he probably doesn't do as much as you would think he does, but he definitely takes care of himself more in the last 10 years than he did before.
Yeah.
And he realizes that it's a gift.
Yeah.
And, but he's just, he's one of those guys that, thank God he still has his voice at his age. And, I just had him in the studio a couple weeks ago working on another Tesla soon-to-be project, which I don't want to talk about because I'll talk about it when we're going to promote it and put it out. And I think I recorded the best vocal I've ever heard from him in his career. So
wow.
he's getting better with age, like a wine, you know?
Yeah. I would say so on the new song. It's amazing.
He's a pretty amazing guy.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of unique things about Tesla, but I do feel like Jeff's voice is one of those things that you hear and you think, oh, it's Tesla. Like, okay, that's Tesla.
Absolutely. I tell everybody that. I mean, he is the voice of Tesla. I mean,
now when
someone else.
Well,
go ahead.
When you and Frank were, in City Kid and you heard him sing the first time, was it one of those moments like we need that guy in the band? We need him.
The funny story is I didn't think he could sing very good because he had never been on stage really with stage monitors, and all I heard was a bunch of feedback. Because he didn't know how to hold the mic properly and all that. But Frank was standing next to him, and Frank said, "Hey man, this guy's got a great voice." Really? Come on, man. What'd you smoke before the gig? And it was Frank. And then actually, he came to a couple of rehearsals and I heard his voice. I was like, oh, yeah, this guy's got an amazing voice. But the funny story is the first time I heard him, he jumped on stage and played with us.
Yeah.
Jammed with us. I couldn't hear him. I just heard a bunch of feedback, so I didn't think he could. But yes, Frank was the one that spotted the greatness of Jeff Keith right away.
Nice.
And I mean, listen, Jeff Keith's my dear, dear brother.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Frank and I know of them, Troy and Tommy, even though they're not there anymore, and Dave. We're like a brotherhood. Tesla is a brotherhood. There is no doubt about it. We fight like brothers. We love each other like brothers. And you say anything bad about one of us, we'll sock you in the nose.
Well, now I noticed, as you often do in the video All About Love, you were rocking your typical bass,
my Hofner.
Yeah, the Hofner bass. Now,
yeah,
I saw this in back in the day in some interview, but it mentioned that you got that around the time of the 5 Man Acoustical Jam. Did you have one before then?
I actually had one on the second album.
Okay.
Because Paul McCartney, I'm of the mindset that on the 8th day, if you believe in God, God created Paul McCartney. So I always wanted a bass like Paul's.
Oh, yeah.
The Hofner. So round about the second album, we actually were starting to make some money. And I bought one in a little guitar shop in New York City, I think it was 54th Street or 48th Street Guitars. And so I started playing when people first actually saw me playing one was in the 5 Man Acoustic Jam. And I've played one ever since. I played two basses. I play a Hofner, like Paul's, and I play a Gibson Thunderbird. And I've been playing those Gibson Thunderbirds since, if you look at Cowboy and Susie and every video, it's either a Thunderbird or a Hofner.
Yeah.
And those are the two basses I play.
Nice. Well, I definitely say Paul. I mean, my God, for his age and just, I mean,
he's incredible.
Yeah,
he's incredible. I mean, did you see him on Saturday Night Live? He's 83 years old.
Exactly.
And I mean, he's still pouring his heart out, and he's lost a little bit of the top end of timbre of his voice or whatever, but he's a great grandfather, and he's still out there. And that guy plays 3 hours a night when he plays. He's out there taking a drink of water. He plays in. If you know anything about music, there's normal natural tuning is A440.
Yeah.
He plays an A440. You know what I mean? He doesn't tune down. He doesn't run tracks. He's amazing.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have had him in our lifetime.
Yeah, he actually, Bill Burr was talking about going to see one of his concerts, and that was the amazing thing is he just had this basically pop-up concert in New York and was just like, yeah, I'll play. And it's just like, I mean,
yeah, he did that. Yeah, he did that. He did three nights. I've seen him about 40 times. and you see him in these stadiums.
Yeah.
And there's 80,000 people from Paul's age to young kids, maybe 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, and everyone sings every word to every song for 3 hours with Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And the amazing thing is he's never like lost the desire either. He just always wants to be out there, man.
He loves music. He makes music. He loves to play, and God bless him. Like I said, I wish the world was all like Paul McCartney. Okay.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, like, you know, tying it into the Beatles, on the Five Man Acoustical Jam, everybody in the band, from what I understood, chose a cover. And yours was the Beatles cover. We Can Work It Out.
Yeah. I picked Weekend. Jeff was Signs.
Now,
Jeff's the reason we did Signs.
Well, now, were there any other songs that you were thinking on besides We Can Work It Out, or was that from the beginning? You were like, that's it.
That was the number one choice. It just because it's basically acoustic guitars, you know what I mean. So it had to be something that lent to that, and you know, it just we played it. It sounded and felt great. Went right in.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Jeff choosing Signs, and I mean, it was one of those crazy things because I mean, it was one of your most popular songs, went the highest on the charts, and you guys weren't even you weren't even planning on releasing this. It just sort of sat there. Now, you were the reason though that you did record it.
Yeah. We were doing these shows because we were on tour with Motley Crue at the time, and it was their big Dr. Feelgood tour. Mm-hmm. And I think they only played 3 days a week. Mm-hmm. Well, we were still a young band, and we still had to earn money. So we had done the one show in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And in order to kind of fill some of the holes on this Motley Crue tour, we booked 5 or 6 of these acoustic shows.
Yeah.
And I said to our manager at the time, this guy, Peter Mensch, I said, we should record one of these, film it, whatever, you know, so we have it for the vault one day, you know, when we look back on the career. And that's all it was. And it wasn't the best show. It was actually the worst show. My bass mic wasn't working. I had to replay that.
Yeah.
And when I did replay it, I said, okay, listen, you start the tape, you give me a shot of whiskey, I play. If I mess up, I mess up. Whatever it is, it's one time. I'm not going to go in and make it perfect. It's like, because it didn't get picked up in the recording of the night, so I played it in one pass.
Nice.
You know, like, you know, they had
Make
to change the reel, but so that was the only thing that was overdubbed on that album. And I don't even really call that an overdub. But how that came about was we were on tour with Motley, and we were in Boston, and we were promoting the show at the big amphitheater, Great Woods there. And Frank, Jeff, and Tommy went to the radio station, WAAF there, big station in Boston.
Yeah.
And to do an interview to promote the show, they took a couple of acoustic guitars and they played Signs, just like, hey, let's play that Signs song.
Yeah.
And that station took that recording live from the DJ's booth, and started playing it, and people started requesting it. And then that station called our label at the time, Geffen Records, said, hey, you got this song happening in Boston, you should record it. And we said, well, we actually did record a live concert. So they said, well, why don't you just mix that up, mix a couple things out, and we'll work the track and make it an EP.
Yeah. So
we mixed a few things, and once they heard those, they said, well, do you have the whole show? And we said, yeah, we mixed the show, and it came out as the Five Man Acoustic Jam, and the rest is history. It's the cheapest album we ever made, the cheapest promotion cost, cheapest to make everything, and the biggest selling record we ever made.
Well, I mean, were you pretty surprised, like when you heard from the label when they said, you know, hey, this station in Boston is playing your song? You're like, really? That acoustic?
Yeah, I mean, we were surprised, and I remember there was we had a few discussions about not wanting to put it out because the record was so raunchy and so raw, and I was one of the advocates for doing it, and citing, Aerosmith Live Bootleg, because that's a pretty raunchy sounding recorded record. I said, no, it'll be in the spirit. I said, listen, they're probably, it'll be for the hardcore fans, I didn't think it would crack us to the masses.
Yeah.
But it did. Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me, too, that actually happened to the band Shine Down. They covered Simple Man, and it was the exact same thing. They played a live version of it in Boston, and for whatever reason, those folks in Boston love a good cover live, and that's what took off. But I mean, I personally, I really love, like, on the Signs version. I mean, Jeff at the end of the song saying, great song. Wish we wrote it, but we didn't. Like, I like the spontaneity of it. It feels great.
I like when he says, "Can you turn up the air conditioner? These people are boiling." It was funny because it was so us, and it was so just raw, warts and all, and but our fans related to it, and we gained a lot of new fans from it at the time as well.
Well, I heard one of those fans was Jimmy Page. He complimented you on that album when he met you. Yeah, when I met him, I met him the first time I ever met him. We were at Hammersmith Odeon, and I was with my friend Ross Halpin, and Ross and Jimmy are like brothers. So it was the first time I ever met Jimmy. And I went up to him, because they have a bar back there in those days. I think we were drinking. I don't know. So, would you like something to drink? And he said, yeah. So when I came back and gave him his beverage, he said, I really like the Five Man Acoustic Jam. And I said, what? He said, the Five Man Acoustic Jam. I said, really? I didn't even think you knew who I was. He goes, yeah, you're in Tesla. We're label mates. And what he said to me, and I tell people this, but I don't quote him because he's a very good personal friend of mine. But what he said to me was, you were the first band ever to do an all live acoustic album. And that's true. People say, they all say, oh, you started this. No, we didn't. But we were the first one to do an all live album. So before Eric Clapton, before Nirvana, before Rod Stewart, when he had Ron Wood, those were big acoustic live albums. Oh, yeah. Ours
was first. So, yes, we were the first at that, but we did not start the acoustic movement. I mean, we got it. I mean, listen, we're playing We Can Work It Out.
Yeah.
I mean, Rubber Soul was mainly acoustic. You know what I mean? So we got our acoustic influences from Led Zeppelin, Peter Frampton, the Beatles.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Bad Company had a lot of acoustic guitars. Still Like Making Love, all that stuff. That's all the stuff we grew up on.
Nice. But now the last studio album you guys had, it was actually produced by former guest of the show and, dare I say, friend of ours, Phil Collen of Def Leppard.
We love Phil. He's a brother.
Now,
he's a brother.
When did you first meet? Was that in the Hysteria tour that you first met Phil?
Yeah. We were managed by the same people, Q Front. And the first time I met Phil, we were in Amsterdam, Holland, and they were making Hysteria in Holland.
Wow.
And we were just Modern Day Cowboy just came out. We did like 5 kind of showcase shows in Europe, and we were playing at a place called the Paradiso in Holland, in Amsterdam. And Phil, Steve Clark, and Rick Allen and Peter Mensch came to the show. And at the end, they all got up and played with us, and we did Rock of Ages.
Nice.
Right? Yeah, and there's a video of it somewhere. Some fans got it. I know there's photographs.
Yeah.
And from that time on, we just bonded. We were good friends, and then we wound up on, the Hysteria tour. We were on most of the Hysteria tour.
Yeah.
And so there's a brotherhood. They really kind of took us under their wings, and kind of, Joe Elliott was a big mentor of mine.
Yeah.
Still is to this day. And Phil, I'm probably closest to the two of them. And although I do speak to Rick quite a bit, but when I see him, it's fine. When I see them all, they're great.
Absolutely.
And we've toured with them several times throughout our career. So how we got to the Shock thing was, I don't know, 2016. We went back out on tour with them, and we did 3 years in a row. I think 16, 17, and 18. And around about 16, Phil said to me, we were hanging out. He said, "Hey, I wrote a song I think would be good for Tesla."
Mm.
And it was this song called "Save That Goodness."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Sure." He said, let's record it. Right. So we did. And I don't know what we put it out on. We put it as a bonus track to the live Mechanical Resonance album we did. And we had so much fun doing that song and stuff. We said, well, why don't we try doing a full-length album together? You know, and Phil has a different approach than we were ever used. You know, we did the kind of approach they do with Mutt Lange, which is kind of polar opposite of what we do and stuff. And we went in, and God bless Phil. I mean, he donated so much of his time and effort and passion and everything to it, and we made that record. And you know, some people can't stand it, and some people love it. It's it's pretty polarized.
Yeah.
I still stand behind it because it is Tesla, even though, you know, there are elements that sound like Def Leppard, because Phil Collin produced it, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have.
We were trying something, and it was all positive, and it was all for the right reasons, and we had a good time. And you know, there's some great songs on that record, so you know, it's cool. I mean, you know, then we come back after that, and we have 2 singles after that are as raw as they can be. And that brings us to All About Love, which is kind of polished and raw at the same time. And that song kind of has that classic Tesla sound.
Absolutely.
And, you know, that's where we are today.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I got to say, Phil, you know, like I said, nice enough to come on our show, and he's probably one of the nicest guys, especially for, you know, how much he's done in his career. He was just the nicest dude. I was like, man, how many interviews have you done, Phil? And how many, and he was all concerned before our interview. He was like, oh, I've got a bit of a cold. Do you think it's going to sound bad on the mics? And I was like, who cares? You're Phil Collin. You can say whatever you want. It's fine.
He's a great guy. He really is.
Well, now, going out on tour, like the Keeping It Real, do you guys keep the same set list? Or since you've been playing with each other so long, do you like to sort of wing it?
No, we mix it up. We mix it up.
Nice.
I mean, listen, there's going to be 8 or 9 core songs that are there every night. Mm-hmm. You know, your Cowboy and your Susie and your Love Song and your Signs and Heaven's Trail, and you know, I think there's a couple more. Paradise is usually in there. Mm-hmm. Love Song, What You Give. You know, like last night we played Edison's Medicine, where the night before we played Song and Emotion. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, we play Call It What You Want. I mean, we do. We've got such a big catalog to pull from. Mm-hmm. But there are like 8 or 9 core songs, and then 5 or 6 that we kind of switch in and out.
Nice.
You know, it just depends on the day. To be honest with you, Frank is kind of the keeper of the set list.
Nice.
Sorry, I got a bit of a cold.
No worries.
He gives us a set list and sound check, and unless we have some objection to anything, we say, okay, yeah, cool, let's do it. It's pretty much that simple.
Does he ever throw in any crazy, like, do you guys just like sort of like the acoustical jam, like just a random cover in there every now and then?
Oh yeah, we've been playing Walk Away because we have the Reel to Reel records out.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, we can talk about like this record store day, we're releasing Reel to Reel 2 on vinyl.
Nice.
Last record store day, we released Reel to Reel 1 on vinyl because those were only made on CD. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we throw some covers off Reel to Reel 1 on. We'll start throwing some covers off Reel to Reel 2 on.
Nice.
We don't really break down the set anymore. We used to do that for so long in the middle of our show and, you know, play 3 or 4 songs acoustic and stuff. And we haven't done that in quite some time, and maybe we will again. Who knows? You know, we don't. You know, we keep it real. We just go off what we feel like.
Yeah.
When we, you know, but we do realize there are certain songs that people are going to want to hear no matter what.
Well, I mean, those songs that, you know, the must-haves, like you were saying, what would you say you look forward to the most as far as like you still love to play? I mean, yeah, I know you probably like to play all of
that's
them, but
tough because I don't really have. I mean, if you ask me, period, what my favorite all-time Tesla song is, I'd probably tell you "Song and Emotion." I mean, we don't play it that often.
Yeah.
You know, we play it maybe, you know, if we do 50 shows a year, we might play it 10 times. But that's tough because, I mean, I like them all. They all.
Choosing children, yeah.
You know, you play them, the people go crazy and clap and, you know, hold up signs. And the coolest thing, though, is like when I see younger kids in the audience.
Yeah.
Like the other night, I saw like this, I don't know, he might have been a 9-year-old boy.
Nice.
You know, on his dad's shoulders, singing every song.
Wow.
He knew the lyrics to every song we were playing. And I was just like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, me being 62, you know, and our fans being our age. And there's like almost 4 generations of people out there now. And,
yeah.
And that's pretty cool. But I don't really have a particular song that I sit there and say, oh, you know, I can't wait to play that, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it goes.
I've never really thought about it that way, to be honest with you.
I feel like it goes in waves, at least with some of the folks that I know, as far as like, you know, you get into a groove of playing one, and it's like you said though, like you get that feedback from the crowd, it's going to change your opinion regardless. They're so excited, you're going to get excited.
I mean, I can give you a perfect example of a song that we don't necessarily, it's not our favorite song.
Yeah.
And we didn't write it.
Yeah.
But everyone wants to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we play it, it probably gets the biggest reaction of the whole night is Little Susie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you know, and I remember there's been a couple members that said, oh, let's not play that. And I always fight and say, no, you have to play it because
they want
the crowd, look at them. They love it. They want to hear it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we didn't write it. Well, we didn't write signs. So what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we play, you know what I mean? And,
yeah.
You know, but we play it and the crowd goes nuts.
Give the people what they want.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, it's funny because you'll see on the internet, there'll be like, you know, there's always the one guy in the room or girl that says like something that's stupid, right? Like, they shouldn't play signs anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like, off. What do you mean don't play signs anymore?
Yeah.
That's like, you know, that's like going to see, you know, the Yankees and Aaron Judge ain't in the lineup.
Exactly.
You know, what the wrong with you? But people say that, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and you just go, come on, man. Come on. Can we deal in real? Can we keep it real here?
Exactly. Well, it's the same too. And you've got, it's understandable. It's awesome. But I see it all the time, like a Tesla super fan, and they will find the deepest cut.
Oh,
on
yeah.
the album.
That only him and 16 other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like. And it's like, but I'm playing to 3,000 people tonight.
Yeah.
And okay, so there's 16 of you out there. Well, we're going to play some deep stuff, but you know, we're not going to, you know, take out one of the big hits for you 16. I mean, I play for the majority. You know, I look at the majority. That's the way you have to. You know,
absolutely.
I mean, even if you look at our country and our world and everything today, it's like not everyone's going to be happy.
No.
Okay.
100%.
Now, if you have 365 million people in America, you know, I don't care if it's Donald Trump or it's Bugs Bunny or, you know, Mickey Mouse. I don't even know if Jesus Christ himself could please every single person.
Yeah.
Like there's always, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's the way it is. That's just life. So you got to go with whatever's good for the mass, the majority of the people.
Yeah.
Try to get the majority of the people to agree upon something or whatever, and if not, well, you know, hey man, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's insane.
Well, I think most Tesla fans will be very excited about seeing you guys in this tour.
Oh yeah, the ticket sales are real good, and the people are excited. I see them on the message boards and social media.
Nice.
Engaging each other. We're still having a great time playing. If we weren't, I don't know that we could do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because it gets harder on us physically.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I got a cold. I've been in a bunk. I was at my house in Florida for the winter. I fly to Detroit. It was cold. I didn't wear a jacket. I got a cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all that. But, if that hour and a half I'm on stage, that makes all that trivial, means nothing.
Yeah.
I want to play.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, I know you're a busy man. I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I want to thank you for coming on the show today.
I've enjoyed talking to you today.
Yeah.
It's been a nice interview.
For sure. Well,
are we going to see you?
Hopefully so on Wednesday.
Where
at? Jacksonville.
All right, well, come and say hi to me. Find me, pick me out.
Absolutely.
I don't know anybody in Jacksonville. I'll tell you a couple jokes.
There. Well, Brian, listeners, make sure you check out Tesla coming to Jacksonville March 5th, and they're going to be in Orlando on March 7th, then Coconut Creek March 16th. Right now,
we like Florida.
Oh,
we like Florida a lot.
Hey, especially when it's cold everywhere else.
Yeah, especially now.
Exactly.
I bought a house in Ocala because I live in upstate New York, and it's like 10 degrees there now. It's like 70 in Ocala. But I should have wore a coat. I wouldn't have got this cold. I don't know if even that matters. Traveling in planes and, temperatures. But anyways, I look forward to seeing you all real soon.
Absolutely. Hey, right now, let's take a listen to All About Love here
man.
On the Doc
all
G
right.
Show. Here on the Doc G Show, Brian Wheat Mike, my goodness, the stories he could tell. Yes! The stories he could tell.
So true.
But also, it's crazy, Mike. I mean, their most popular album, arguably their most popular album, a throwaway live album that they just recorded. They weren't even thinking about making it an album, and then it's like, let's just put it out there as an album. Like, it's always one of those things. It goes to show you never know. You just never know. You gotta keep plugging away. You just never know. Mm-hmm. But fantastic band, fantastic artist, Brian Wheat of Tesla. There. Make sure you check out the new single, All About Love. Mike, we need to move on to the fastest growing segment in the world.
Mike C, Top 3.
Now, Mike, you chose this week top 3 venues for performing. Yeah. Now,
yes.
You didn't say what performance. I went ahead and imagined sort of a stand-up / live podcast. That's sort of what I imagined.
Yeah. Okay.
I did a little bit in my head of like musician too, but that's mainly what I was thinking. Now, I'm guessing you have some honorable mentions.
I do.
Okay, we'll go back and forth here. My first honorable mention, Ryman Theater, the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, the mother church of country music. I mean, it's just one of those historic venues. It's not too big. It's sort of a classic.
How do you spell it, Dr. G? I'm sorry.
Ryman. Yes! Ryman. The Ryman Auditorium. Yeah, it's I mean, it's one of those staples. It's a place.
Oh man, that's nice.
Yeah, it's just one of those places. I mean, that's yeah. It's a fantastic place, and I mean, essentially every single artist, country music artist, has played there since country music started. Essentially,
yeah, that's.
But
cool.
then also like pretty much any comedian, any like current day comedian. I mean, all your huge comedians have performed there. Your Bill Burrs, your Kevin Harts, like they've all performed there. So pretty awesome place. Mike, your honorable mention. What we got?
The Globe Theatre in London.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
very
Shakespeare.
Very cool.
That'd be cool.
Very historic.
Stand-up wise, it's outdoors, not really high ceilings, but that'd be a pretty
historic.
legendary place to do.
I've got another. I got a historic one as well. That's
what do you got?
Well, it's not the next one. The next one is
Okay.
another outdoor one. I've got it was close to making it. There were a couple that I had to put honorable mention that it was hard to put honorable mention, but I had to do it. Next one, Red Rocks.
Yeah, that's me. I got that as an honorable mention for sure. How can you not?
It's just, I mean, I couldn't put it in my top because I was just like, the ones in my top knocked them out. But like, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Next on my honorable mentions, Mike, Budokan in Japan. So Budokan just has a couple of like huge like concerts that are very famous back in the day. Bunch of huge artists have done like live albums at Budokan. It's just a giant arena. It's definitely like the most known arena from Japan. It's not too amazing on the inside. Looks like sort of like a normal arena, but it's just, I mean, it's one of those history things, So Budokan. Mike?
Yeah, pretty cool.
What's your next honorable mention? You got another?
Yeah, Ford's Theater.
Oh, more historic.
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid of ghosts in there or something.
Oh, come
I don't know.
on, man. That would be so funny, too.
Scary.
For sure, stand up.
Mike would get canceled the very first thing. He would make some kind of horrible Lincoln joke right at the start.
In 2 minutes. 2 minutes in. Not even 2 minutes. First minute. Come out on stage. I would just come out on stage and I would just point.
Right there, everybody.
That's where it happened, everybody. And then I would just get.
It is. I mean, it is one of those amazing things that it's still things go on there.
Oh, and not only that, but they use Lincoln to brand themselves.
Yeah. You're like,
it's wild.
I mean, you don't really see that like JFK. There aren't things that I know of, at least in Dallas, that they're like. Totally murdered right here. This is where it went down.
JFK Avenue.
Yeah, like I just
like.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But
the MLK Hotel, come on in, guys. It's so beautiful, historic place.
Okay, next on my list, Mike, Sydney Opera House. Sydney Opera House in Sydney, Australia.
Sydney Opera, yeah.
It's very, very ornate, very cool, and I mean, obviously, the outside is just epic. But that one, I'd have to be on a world tour for that one. Mike, I'm not going there for one show there. I'm not doing a 24-hour trip just for that one. Sorry, not going to happen.
Yeah.
Mike, you got more honorable mentions?
I got one more.
Okay.
And this one's pretty, this is left field. I don't even think you could even do this, but the Colosseum in Rome.
You can't. They wouldn't let you do it, but it'd be
No way.
it'd be dope. That would be.
Weren't they gonna have a fight there like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk were gonna?
They wanted to. That was some of their ridiculousness for sure.
Okay, so you're saying there's a chance.
Mike, I've got 3 more honorable mentions. So real quick.
Okay.
The Apollo Theater.
Yeah.
Again, historic, and I don't think. I mean, the crowd is historically hard to win over. Like, I would be my pants if I were to do a show there. My God, that'd just be scary to think you're going to get thrown off stage. I couldn't do it. Radio City Music Hall Also.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Radio City Music Hall. That one just it seems so dreamy. It's just like, I don't know, very cool. And then Royal Albert Music Hall. Royal Albert Music Hall, very historic. Also like the Globe. Not as historic as the Globe, but very very historic. Okay, Mike. Top 3. We've made it to the actual top 3. My number 3, sort of like your Coliseum. It's the best option. The Arena of Nimes.
Say what?
The Arena of Nimes in France, Mike. It is 2,000 years old. It is the most intact ancient Roman Colosseum.
That's right.
And it holds about 24,000 people. And literally, it was used to watch gladiators perform there. And now, people still perform there. Like, I mean,
Nice.
you know,
Yeah, that's sick.
Dua Lipa performed there like a year ago or something like that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. I mean, talk about
That's cool.
are you not entertained moment. My Lord.
Not entertained.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's sick. And then you could do, like a place like this. You could do the round, Dane Cook
Yeah.
style, where you do like the round stage. You face everybody. And
Yeah.
you're just surrounded by it. Dreams.
Yeah, be pretty wild.
Yeah,
pretty
that's
wild.
cool. That's
Mike,
a nice place.
Your
Good pick.
number 3.
All right, this is very Pacific, but Denver Comedy Works. It's a stand-up comedy club, and I used to drive media for the Orlando Improv. And one question that I asked every comedian: where is your favorite place to perform in the country? They all said Denver Comedy Works. Apparently, it's underground, and sound is amazing, and just everything about that place is magical. So Denver Comedy Works for me.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it, Mike. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Denver Comedy Works.
Yeah, we're going to have to schedule a live show. Denver Comedy
I gotta
Works.
email those managers. I'm gonna try to get a guest spot on that place.
Get in there,
Anyways,
Mike.
We're making it happen, everybody.
Get it in there, Mike. Mike, my number 2, the Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl. Okay.
17,500 people, Mike. But it's like, I like the fact that it's a slow rise elevation for the seats. You don't just go like, it's not straight up. It has a close together feel, even though it's a massive outdoor amphitheater. Like, and it's just, and again, it's one of those places that just basically everybody you can think of that's been huge has performed there. The Beatles, Bob Dylan, The Doors, Jimi Hendrix, Jackson 5, Grateful Dead, Elton John, Rolling Stones, and then comedians. Monty Python performed live there. Dave Chappelle performed there. Jerry Seinfeld, Nate Bargatze, Jim Gaffigan. Dope.
Yeah, that's a cool spot. There's a good picture of it from behind the actual stage.
Yeah.
And the seats all kind of go up like a hill.
It's just a real slow, it's just a
really
real
nice.
slow increase, and I like that. It's like I told you before, when it's a real tight increase, it gives me the heebie-jeebies as the performer. It makes me anxious when everybody's right on top of me. But when I got a nice slow rise, I like that. Yeah.
I like that too.
Mike, you're number 2.
My number 2, the Sphere in
Oh,
Las Vegas.
Mike, I'm gonna go ahead and say I need that on my honorable mentions. I didn't put it on my honorable mentions, but it needs to be there because it's just awesome.
It's pretty wild. I try not to watch videos that people post from inside that place. I've seen some videos, and the setup looks so cool. I don't know how that would work for stand-up comedy. It'd be the most distracting thing ever. I'd probably get 0 laughs, but hey, at least I'd have all these crazy visuals behind me. That would be pretty awesome.
I mean, it is so cool.
Maybe it could be a visual of more people behind me.
Just more people laughing.
Just another,
Like it's definitely super awesome, but like I also like I could see myself having some kind of panic attack in there just because it's so like realistic and just so everywhere that I'd be like, it's too stimulating. I gotta get out of this place. Like it's just it's crazy, man. Some of the videos that I see, I'm just like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Like when the Eagles were there for like a couple of months, that was wild, man. That was wild.
Yeah.
But anywho, Mike, my number one. This is, I mean, compared to like the monster ones that I've had for the last two, this is a really small place. But it's the history. It's just where it's at. It's just everything about it. The Troubadour.
Yes!
Troubadour.
The Troubadour in California, man. I mean, it's literally just, it's a 500 maximum. That's it. That's all that it holds. 500 people. But like, I mean, you look at it, Mike, literally my favorite artist, my favorite comedians, like most of them all got their start there as far as like that was their introduction to LA. Like they first performed at the Troubadour. I mean, when you look at like artists who first performed there, Elton John, his first LA performance at the Troubadour. The Eagles were formed at the Troubadour. James Taylor, Bill Withers, Buffalo Springfield, Neil Young, Bob Dylan, Led Zeppelin, Billy Joel, Metallica performed for the first time in LA at the Troubadour. Guns N' Roses' first performance was at the Troubadour.
Jeez.
Like and then your comedians. I mean,
Steve Martin,
Lenny Bruce,
like,
Steve Martin, Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, like just it's the like
Troubadour. That's a nice looking venue too. Yeah,
I've asked because we've had a ton of artists that have played there on the show. I'm guessing like I couldn't even do the research now. I'm guessing like probably we've had 50 artists that have performed there, probably more than that. But like I just on a lot of them I have to ask them, I'm like, do you feel something like magical when you go in there? Did like those people like ooze into the walls that you can feel it and you're just like, oh the history, oh yeah, like, you know. And they do say like the wooden walls of like the green room, it does have like a certain just historical feel to it. But
love it.
Troubadour, Mike, big one.
Troubadour,
big one.
Nice.
All right, Mike, what's your number one?
MSG, Madison Square Garden.
It's just
New
massive.
York City.
You sell it out, Mike. You own the world. I mean, most famous city in the world. You own it. That's
Madison Square Garden. Not the Everest.
I mean, when you look at comedians, there's only a handful that have actually done that. I mean, you know, you got Kevin Hart that's done it. You got Dane Cook that's done it. You've got
Dice Clay,
Dice.
First guy, I think.
Yeah, which is, I mean, insane to think of. I mean, no offense to Dice Clay, but now you think of that and you're like, really? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Like, but it's a big one. I'm sure it's on Sam Morrill's list. I'm sure because he's done the Madison Square Garden Theater, you know, that's beside the stadium. He sold that out multiple times. Which was a big moment. I remember the first time he did it. It was a little while after he was on the show, and I was like, "That's cool. That's got to feel real good." Especially as a New York guy too, growing up there, you're like, "Yeah, I conquered this."
So true.
Because there's not really anything I could conquer theater-wise from my hometown.
Word.
There's not like, I mean, at least Orlando has some arenas that you could say, yeah, you know, and some theater. I got nothing. There's nothing that I would be like, oh, yeah, I got that high school theater. Yeah, that's right. I did it. You know, it's wild. But anyways, Mike, good list. Good list. What do we got next week?
That was a good one. Let's do top 3 movie trailers.
Top 3 movie trailers.
Yeah. All-time favorite movie trailers.
Word.
Oh, no, I don't think we don't. People don't watch movie trailers enough anymore. Now I'm going to have to go review. I'm going to have to think back. I don't know.
Yeah. I've got some.
I don't know. I will
Had
put
some pretty good trailers.
I mean, this may make my list. It may not, listeners, but might be The Departed. Like I talked about with old Tim from Dropkick Murphys, man. When you got Jack Nicholson and you've got Leonardo DiCaprio and you've got Matt Damon on there, and then all of a sudden they start cranking out that Shipping Up to Boston by Dropkick Murphys, which I still have the album just sitting here for some reason. But
Nice.
yeah,
That's a good album cover.
that's a good. Oh, it's that's a real fighter there. That's what's his name from Lowell, Massachusetts. It's gonna annoy me, Mike. Girl, come on. Christian Bale played his brother. It was Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg in the movie The Fighter. The name of the movie was The Fighter. Very good movie. No, Mickey Ward. There we go. That's
Mickey
who it
Ward.
is. Mickey Ward. Yes. Anywho,
Cool.
I also have a shirt of Mickey Ward's boxing club. Anywho, okay, there we go. Mike, we got 2 birthday suits left. Who do you want? Do you want the film director / writer, or do you want the comedian?
Let's go comedian.
Okay, Mike, I'm like 99%. There's always a chance that my clue might just not get.
It happens.
I might be off here, but born on. Hold on, just a second, real quick. Let me see this. Oh yeah, getting my album, Mike. I threw my camera off. There we go. Sorry, I had to balance out my camera. I noticed the album was actually underneath my tripod, so when I took it, it just bunk. Anywho, okay, here we go, Mike. Born on May 14th, 1982, she's been on tour with Mal Hall for the last couple of months, and she is the first professional comedian that you remember laughing at your joke. Name that.
Angela Johnson.
There we go. There it is. Angela Johnson is correct, Mike. Turning 43. 43. Mike, I didn't know this. Did you know this? She was an Oakland Raiders cheerleader back in the day.
Oh, I thought she was a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
Oakland Raiders,
Okay.
man.
Oakland Raiders,
Oakland
nice.
Raiders. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. She's still out there just killing it. Just touring around and my God, I'll tell you, that Mal, he has got obsessed with golf, Mike. I don't know if you have checked out his Instagram recently, but that's his last 8 posts are him golfing. Just different places. He's just all about. He's gonna turn pro soon. I think. I don't know, man. Good Lord. That's a fact. And he that was the last one. He hit a 310-yard drive. I was like, holy crap, Jesus. Are you going to driving ranges giving unsolicited advice? My Lord, that's crazy. Mike. Okay, here we go. Last birthday suit. 89%. 89% on this.
I'll take it.
Born on May 14th, 1944, our birthday suit wearer was the director of movies like American Graffiti and Star Wars. He created and wrote Indiana Jones with Steven Spielberg. He's one of the highest-grossing filmmakers of all time and is worth an estimated $5.1 billion. Name that birthday suit wearer.
Any other movies?
I mean, Star Wars. Star Wars, Mike. Star Wars.
Yeah, I want to say it was Can I get the initials?
GL.
That's annoying. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I don't think he has a ton of other movies that he's produced.
Oh, George Lucas.
There,
My bad.
there you
Star
go.
Wars. For some reason, I was thinking of Star Trek, but yes, Star Wars. Of course, George Lucas.
There we go. I was about to say.
Wow, that
was
was so
like,
bad. My bad. George Lucas.
Mike, we all know we've had worse. That's but there you got it. You got it.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Nice. Yeah. $5.1 billion, Mike. He sold when he sold everything about Star Wars, it was like the deal was like $4 billion for Disney. They bought that for like $4 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, I'll say this about old George Lucas. What a head of hair. My
Yeah, he's
goodness.
got good hair.
It's amazing.
Sure.
I mean, and now, being 80 years old, it's just like it's a great shock of white hair up there that you're just like, man, it's full and luscious. And then it just goes right into his beard. Very nicely done, George. Very nicely done. Anywho, turning 81, Mike. 81 years young. So there we go. Angela Johnson, Gronk, and George Lucas. Happy birthday, Mike. We need to wrap it up for this week, but we have some fantastic shows coming. Can't wait. But until then, we need to wrap it up. I've been your host, Doc G. With me, as always, the one, the only, Mikey Maximus, the Fernicus Charette.
Always a pleasure, Doc G. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And until next week, zip it up and zip it out.
Zippity-doo-dah.